Since dawn, a record crowd of enthusiasts who've been patiently waiting through the night have poured through the gates into Silverstone. By the race start, there'll be 85,000 lining the circuit. Most come by car, but the lucky ones come by plane to Silverstone's private airstrip. Not just the spectators, though. The Formula One entourage too. Gunnar Nilsson, winner of the Belgian Grand Prix, with Team Lotus boss man, the brilliant Colin Chapman. And the redoubtable Mario Andretti, JPS team leader, winner of 3 1977 Grand Prix and a hot prospect today. But it's James Hunt who the crowd will be willing on. Back on form again after 3 days of practice, he's in pole position with a lap at nearly 135 miles an hour. Jody Scheckter's won twice this year in the new Wolf Ford. John Watson, out to give the Martini Brabham team its first win. His teammate, Hans Stuck. Gilles Villeneuve, sensational in practice for his first Formula One race. And Jacques Lafitte, the popular little Frenchman, winner of the Swedish Grand Prix in his 12-cylinder Ligier Matra. The superb JPS is the car to beat this year. But the great innovation is the entry of a production car manufacturer into Formula One, Renault. Only a 1.5-litre engine, but this turbocharger gives it over 500 horsepower. Carlos Reutemann, winner at Brazil, Ferrari's number 2 driver. Their number 1 is Niki Lauda.
Niki, how important is discipline to the running of your team?
Especially to us, it's very important because it sometimes seems that we have a little bit too much panic around.
Are you happier now?
Yeah, sure, I'm happier to be 3rd and 15th.
And you're leading the championship as well?
Yeah, this is going to be difficult because it depends how good the Ferrari goes in the next couple of races. Here it seems all right. But we have to watch very carefully that we don't get back in the problems we had in the last couple of races. Then I don't see very optimistic the championship. But if we get things improving from here on, I think we're in good shape.
This Grand Prix is a very important one for you, I think, isn't it?
Well, in technical terms, in terms of trying to win the World Championship, which has, of course, to be my main objective, it's only the same as all the others. But in emotional terms, it's very special for me, being the British Grand Prix with the British crowd and everything, and it's the high point of my year from that point of view. But of course, it has additional significance because it's also, we've reached a situation in the championship that if I don't get it together now, it's going to be too late. So from both points of view, it's an absolutely vital race for me.
1977's been tough for John Watson. He could have won 4 times. He would have won in France, but for running out of fuel.
Gordon, why in fact was it that your 12-cylinder engine ran out of petrol at Dijon?
Well, we still don't know exactly, but it's probably because 12-cylinder engines are much more sensitive to temperature changes, ambient condition changes, and the weather did change slightly during the race. It started off by clouding over and got hot during the race, and the car just used 4 more gallons of fuel than it should have used.
So, can it be a Brabham Alpha this time? And can John Watson overcome his jinx? Second fastest in practice looks good.
Well, I think in any race, starting in the front row is the best position you can be, because if you do make a good start and you lead the race, it first of all means that you can more or less dictate the pace of the race, and it's a lot easier on the car as well. And that's what I'd prefer to do, not to have to chase somebody and overtake them, then take the lead, but to try and take the lead before the first corner or at the first corner, and then be able to control the race from that point on.
There's an immense crowd come here today, I believe one of the largest crowds we've ever had, and you are the person it seems most rooted for. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think that having 2 British drivers in the front row of the British Grand Prix is a pretty good achievement, and I think that's created a little further interest in the race than there really was, but it had received a lot of publicity beforehand, and I think just that final touch of the 2 British drivers in the front has made it even more attractive to people.
All set then for round 10 of the World Championship, with Niki Lauda just 1 point ahead of Mario Andretti and Jody Scheckter. 26 starters to unleash 13,000 horsepower onto Silverstone's 135-mile-an-hour lap. 68 laps, 200 miles.
I think James Hunt will win the race. I think Nicky Lauda will be second, and I think Jody Scheckter will be third.
Away they go. It's a superb start, and straight into the lead goes John Watson in the Martini Brabham. Just behind him, Nicky Lauda in the Ferrari. Then it's Jody Scheckter. In fourth position, James Hunt, and they go round Copse for the first time. And John Watson is exactly where he wanted to be, in the lead. And they're all together, but Rupert Keegan in the Hesketh is in trouble, and he spins off. He hasn't even done one lap. Down the hanger straight for the first time. It's Watson, then Lauda. Jody Scheckter with James Hunt almost alongside him, and Watson round Stowe Corner for the first time, punches on his way down towards Club. And what an absolutely superb sight and a superb sound these Formula One cars make. Almost at the end of lap one, and as they come up to Woodcote and the chicane, it's Watson still leading, Lauda in second place, Scheckter third, Hunt fourth, Nilsson fifth, Andretti in sixth position. Down to Copse Corner, Watson driving beautifully smoothly and neatly in the Brabham Alpha. Lauda behind him, about 20 cars lengths. And now up to Maggott's Curve. Round the left-hander, there's Lauda, Hunt in fourth position. And as we look down from Maggott's to Beckett's, Mario Andretti in the black and gold JPS there has got ahead of his teammate Nilsson, and he's up into fifth position as they stream down Hanger Straight at some 190 miles an hour in these 3-litre cars. To Stowe, John Watson. And look, the Brabham's bottoming there. Bottoming as it goes round the corner. Up from Stowe to Club Corner, and John Watson takes it very wide indeed, right over onto the verge. Then Lauda, only about 2 car lengths behind him. It's the wolf board of Jody Scheckter as John Watson streams round and into the chicane again. And at the end of lap 3, Ronnie Peterson, there he is in the Elf Tyrrell. Ronnie Peterson, the brilliant Swedish driver, is out of the race. He's blown his engine. And Ronnie Peterson isn't the only one. There's Rupert Keegan back in the pits talking to Lord Hesketh, his sponsor, and the man who provides the car.
Rupert, what happened then?
As we went into the first corner, I was on the outside of the circuit, and Carlos Reutemann was inside my right-hand rear wheel, and as I came round the corner, he drove straight in the side of me and took the right-hand wheel off, right-hand rear wheel.
Nothing you can do about it?
That's it. And he got 4 wheels, and he's taken one of them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tough luck for Rupert Keegan. Lap 6 at Beckett's Corner. John Watson still leading. Lauda second, Scheckter third, Hunt in fourth position, and then the 2 JPSs. And Villeneuve, the leader of those 2 red and white cars, the brilliant young French-Canadian, in only his first Formula One race, is in 7th position, ahead of his teammate Jochen Mass, and Mario Andretti comes out and tries to take Hunt, but Hunt shuts the door, and as they go round Stowe Corner, James Hunt there is still in 4th position ahead of Andretti. Up to Club Corner, John Watson and Lauda still in 2nd position. From Club, the long drag round Abbey and up to Woodcote. Into the chicane to complete lap 6. It's Watson, Lauda, Scheckter in 3rd, Hunt 4th. And then the midfield men. And amongst them Arturo Merzario and Depaille passing Jones. On to the demanding Beckett's, and it's Watson leading. Lauda there in 2nd position. Scheckter in 3rd with Hunt closing up on him. Then the 2 JPSs, Villeneuve and Jochen Mass. Down the hanger straight yet again. This is the fastest part of the course, and Nicky Lauda's trying to close on Watson as Hunt comes up very close behind Scheckter. He's going to take him. James Hunt goes through and takes third position. Hunt has passed Scheckter, and now he's just got Nicky Lauda in the Ferrari and John Watson in the Brabham Alpha in front of him, and the crowd's going mad as Watson comes round Club Corner and on his way towards Abbey. There's James Hunt in third position for the first time. Behind him, Jody Scheckter, and James now has really got the feel of this Silverstone circuit, which he loves so much and has done so well at. And off the circuit goes Ian Scheckter, and look at that car disintegrating. Off goes the wings, off goes the fire extinguisher, the yellow flag, the waving caution, and Ian Scheckter is all right as Watson comes up to Copse with Nicky Lauda in the Ferrari right in his wheel tracks. Watson, Lauda, then it's James Hunt, and there is the Renault. The Renault, which is in about 14th position now and going well in its first Formula One race. Coming up to complete lap 12, the leaders, and my goodness, it's getting close. Watson, Lauda and Hunt almost together. This is turning out to be a classic motor race. Jabouille into the pits. The turbocharged Renault's in trouble, and that's not altogether unexpected. It's its first race. And Reutemann there. Reutemann stationary with brake trouble, which is being corrected by the Ferrari mechanics. Lap 15 at Maggots, and it's 1, 2, 3 all together. Watson, Lauda, Hunt. There's Villeneuve back in the race, out of his pit. 4th, Jody Scheckter. 5th, Andretti. 6th is Gunnar Nilsson. And Reutemann, number 12 in the Ferrari, has been lapped, and Jochen Maas there is in 7th position as the leaders stream down the hanger straight with Lauda right up the gearbox of Watson's Brabham Alpha. Hunt in 3rd position, and almost nothing between them as they come up to Woodcote to complete the lap into the chicane. And look at the pace of those three leaders. And Depailler is out of the race in the Elf Tyrrell. He spun off into the catch fencing at Copse. Both Tyrrells out of the race, but that certainly proves that Silverstone's safety fences work. The leaders, Watson, Lauda, Hunt. James Hunt now is starting to push from 3rd position, pushing Lauda in 2nd, pushing Watson, the leader, down into Woodcote, through the chicane, down through the gears. Brabham, and Hunt is going through. No, he's not. Lauda slams the door in his face. James Hunt has to brake and drop back into 3rd position, but James is showing Lauda the pace. Watson. Lauda, he's dropping back a bit. James Hunt has dropped back a bit from Woodcote. And on the leaders go. And look at the superb, unflurried, smooth style of John Watson. And the way that Alpha rides. And look at the way James Hunt is going. James Hunt right up with Nicky Lauda in the Ferrari. John Watson pulling away. Lauda and Hunt are slowing each other up. Here they come. It's Lauda still 2nd. James Hunt now forcing all the way. Through to complete yet another lap, and Watson now looks as though he's got this race in his pocket. He's controlling it, he's watching his mirrors, and Hunt is up in 2nd place. James Hunt is ahead of the Ferrari with a brilliant passing manoeuvre, and now the battle is on. James Hunt is going to start inexorably to pull away from Nicky Lauda. He's in 2nd place. In front of him, about 2 seconds, John Watson. And Hunt has got the bit well and truly between his teeth. He won last year, was disqualified. He means to win this year. He means to get back into the championship, and look at him go. Riccardo Patrese, the brilliant young Italian, out of the race. Lap 31, and look, Watson and Hunt have broken right away from Nicky Lauda. It's a race for the lead between these two men. John Watson driving as smoothly as ever. James Hunt pressing him hard from behind. Down to Club Corner, and look at the crowd, it's enormous. Round Club Corner, up towards Abbey Curve. And they're taking that very wide indeed from Abbey Curve with another enormous section of the crowd looking on, down to Woodcote Corner, the right-hander, just before the chicane and after the bridge. the British Grand Prix to the delight of tens of thousands of British watching. Into Copse Corner. Watson, Hunt, together. And there's Jabouille in the Renault. His race has run, the turbo has blown, and that's the finish of the Renault's first Formula One event. But a brave, brave try. Lap 43, they've been at it for 14 laps, just like this. In Watson's mirrors, James Hunt's McLaren looms large, but Watson refuses to give way. Refuses to move an inch offline, and watch them lap Vern Schuppen in the Surtees. Vern goes quickly enough, but Watson and James Hunt go past the Surtees almost as though it was standing still, and Hunt is trying to take Watson as they go into the chicane. But Watson holds the line, and once again James Hunt has to tuck it behind. Niki Lauda a long way back now in third position. Jody Scheckter in the Wolf in fourth position. Mario Andretti and Gunnar Nilsson together, fifth and sixth in the JPSs. Jochen Maas in seventh position in the M26 like James Hunt's. And there is Hans Stuck in eighth position in the Brabham Alpha. Lap 50. Chapel Curve into Hanger, and James Hunt is now making his passing move, and he's passed. James Hunt leads. Fantastic. James Hunt leads the British Grand Prix after 50 laps, and Watson must surely be in trouble. Look at the gap already between James Hunt's Marlboro McLaren and John Watson's Brabham Alpha. Something must surely have gone wrong with Watson's car, because Hunt is streaking away from it now as he goes into the chicane, completing lap 50. Brilliant! Hunt is leading the British Grand Prix for the second year in succession. Poor John Watson into the pits, and this is the second Grand Prix in succession where he's lost the lead through no fault of his own. What could it be? Is it tyres? Is it some kind of engine trouble? Out goes the starting gear, round go the mechanics to find out what the problem is by talking to Watson. Is the engine covered? It's petrol. Petrol. In goes the filler. It must be some sort of petrol trouble. They're going to put more in, and it looks like a repetition of the trouble he had in the French Grand Prix as the leader. James Hunt goes on his victorious way. And now there is only about another 9 laps to go. Lauda, number 11, in second position in the Ferrari. And that means he's going to get another 6 World Championship points. Jody Scheckter, 20, in third position in the Wolf Ford. And that's going to be 4 points for him in the World Championship. John Watson getting ready to go out. He's going to fire up the Brabham Alpha and rejoin the race, but he's going to be at least a full lap down if he gets away now. And he does. Off goes the 12-cylinder Brabham Alpha engine, and away goes John Watson back into the British Grand Prix. Hunt on to Stowe Corner on lap 59, leading very securely now, away from Niki Lauda in the Ferrari, and there is Lauda in second place. Jody Scheckter down the Hanger Straight, and behind him it's now Gunnar Nilsson. Gunnar Nilsson has gone ahead of Mario Andretti and up into fourth position. And listen to Andretti's engine, he's in trouble. So, Scheckter up to Woodcote in third position, and Gunnar Nilsson is gaining on him. Can he possibly take third position from Scheckter? He will if he keeps going the way he is at the moment. He's really flying. But out goes Jody Scheckter, second in the World Championship, winner of 2 Grand Prix this year, finished in this race. And that means Nilsson here goes up into third position in the JPS. Lap 61, 7 to go, Woodcote and the chicane. James Hunt leads on his way to the closing stages, and into the pits for the second time goes the unfortunate Watson. What's the trouble this time? It presumably is a recurrence of the fuel trouble that he had before. They're getting ready to get him out again quickly, but Lauda's going on in second position. And Nilsson's gaining. Nilsson in third position in the JPS. He's driving a superb race, and he's gaining on the second place man as Mario Andretti goes out. Mario Andretti's blown his engine in the JPS with only 5 laps to go. Jochen Maas then up to 4th position in the M26 Marlboro McLaren. To 5th place, Hans Stuck in the Martini Brabham. And off the course altogether, poor John Watson's car. Sheer tragedy for the Ulster driver.
It turns out that the fuel pickup in one of the fuel tanks has broken, of course, and that means there's no way that the petrol that's in that tank can get sucked into the engine. So I had to make a pit stop. We added more fuel to the other tank, which helped again, but it only lasted for 5 or 6 laps when I made another pit stop because, again, running out of petrol. And finally, the engine went off song because of running out of fuel. The engine went very lean, so it probably damaged it very slightly, and that's why we retired rather than completely destroy it.
The 68th and last lap, less than 3 miles between James Hunt and the victory checkered flag as he rounds Copse Corner for the last time. Down to Maggots. Behind him, number 12, Reutemann and Lafitte have both been lapped. Niki Lauda, number 11, second place, 6 points to extend his lead in the World Championship. A brilliant drive for this courageous Ferrari driver. Hunt on his way. Round club for the last time. The M26 has proved itself in the British Grand Prix, and Hunt has got the revenge for 1976 that he was looking for. Into Woodcote, the last time, the chicane. The victory clenched fist, and James Hunt crosses the line to win the British Grand Prix. Niki Lauda finishes second in the Ferrari to take those 6 championship points, but look at Nilsson, closing right up in the closing stages and finishing in 3rd place, a gallant position. With no championship victory since 1976, if there was one place that James wanted to win most, it was here at Silverstone in front of his home crowd, and he's done it superbly. A superb 2nd place for Niki Lauda, a superb drive by Gunnar Nilsson. But did James find it easy?
No, well, I had trouble at the start because my clutch started dragging on the line. I don't know whether you saw the car start to move. I had it right to the floor, so I had to hold it on the brake. And I couldn't rev it so much because I didn't want to burn the clutch. You know, it's better to do to be 4th at the first corner than first after 100 yards and last by the first corner, you know, with a burned clutch.
Any other problems?
The only nasty moment was when my dearly beloved team manager told me I was running out of petrol with 20 laps to go, which was to ease up. Well, as soon as John had gone, he said, ease up for Christ's sakes with all these people running out of petrol. And for that reason, I just went on half throttle for the rest of the race, then started worrying about burning a piston.
And how about the championship now?
It's a long way away. I'll think of the German Grand Prix next, which is at Hockenheim. But for the next few hours, I'll be very happy to celebrate this one.
So, amidst enormous acclaim from Silverstone's record crowd, James Hunt made it very clear that with 7 Grand Prix still to go, he's well and truly on the championship trail again.